I had been a functional depressive for a number of years. There was this just deep struggle with life. Drinking, drug abuse, alcohol abuse. My dad passed away when I was 11. I still felt this deep pain. I sat there one day and said, look, if this is what life's about, I'm good. Because we hold on to trauma patterns until we can feel safe to let go of them. And in order to feel safe to let go of them, we have to learn from it.
Callum, thanks for being here today. You said something to me about peace, actually, that I would love to read. You said that at the root of all human desire, we're all searching for peace. Peace within ourselves, with others, with life. Peace means wholeness, the dissolving of separation and the integration of all parts of who we are. Right? Can you tell me a bit more about this? The dissolving part, and the separation.
As human beings, we all create protective patterns in our development, particularly from early ages. As we have difficult challenges in our life, which we'll all experience, we could call it trauma, which is any situation where your system is overwhelmed and it doesn't know how to handle the external event. Typically what will happen within the psyche is we will create separation, and parts of us will sort of fragment from the whole of us in order to hide or be protected and avoid that situation. And that is a protective mechanism and it works in that moment, but in the long term, what happens is we then disconnect from certain parts of ourselves. And consciously, we're not aware of it, but unconsciously, there's this deep distraction in our life that then ultimately creates this tension, this issue that needs to be resolved at some point in time. Otherwise, we will never be able to fully experience peace. And if you take that word, peace, and you also look at a very similar sounding word, peace, as in a piece, right? One piece. The goal of therapy and the goal of coaching in my world is to help people understand how to take those pieces and bring them back together into one whole. And when we move closer to that wholeness, we also simultaneously bring more state of peace in our life, because we're not distracted by the things that we're disconnected from anymore. We're able to bring more of our full expression into our world, our relationships, whatever that may be. So that is the goal. It's about bringing those parts back together again, synergy and harmony, so you can feel more peace as you are one piece once again.
I love that. How did you get to, because usually people, when they get on this journey of understanding life and growth and self-development, there's always something that broke down, right? To just open the doors to this journey, right? So what is the thing that just was the catalyst of all your inner work, let's say?
Yeah, the catalyst for me, so at age 21, I sort of got to the point where I had been a functional depressive for a number of years.
What do you mean by that?
What I mean by that is I was very good at hiding it. So if you met me in the gym that I was working in at that time, or socially, as long as you weren't in the inner circle, you'd have thought, oh, this guy's great. He's healthy, in good shape, he's very enthusiastic, he's cool, he's doing well. And on paper, all those boxes were ticked, but then behind the scenes, there was this just deep struggle with life because of unhealed past experiences that were eating away at me from the inside out. And
how did that show in your life?
How did that show? Drinking, drug abuse, alcohol abuse. And, some people might not see it that way, but for me it was way too much of it, extremes, all in, all out. I was all in. And so my way of dealing with the emotions I didn't know how to handle was to drink, or excessive drug abuse, drug amounts at the weekends that turned into 3 days, 4 days. And there's a walking contradiction. I was a personal trainer. So ideally, that's not what's happening behind the scenes. But I was very good at hiding that. And I was very good at performing to the people in front of me and not addressing the things within me up until this sort of precipice and this crossroads in life that I reached at age 21.
So how did you realize that you are living this lie and that there was something you needed to do?
So to give context to it, my dad passed away when I was 11. Died of a rare heart failure, and around the same time, Granddad passed away, and a few years before that, my other granddad had passed away. So by the age of 11, I'd experienced quite a lot of death in the close circle of the family, particularly, my dad passing. That was one of the harder parts. And of course, you couple that at this age anyway, being a boy at age 11, moving into your teens, you're pretty angry anyway. There's a lot of energy in there and you don't know what to do with it. And not having that backbone or guidance, I think, compounded and was a pressure. But then at the same time, for anyone who's experienced death, there's this real struggle with never being able to see that person again, or never having that person there. And for me, a father is the energy in your life that you can go and do something and know that if you fall, you're going to be caught. But once he'd passed away, I didn't have that anymore. It felt like it was me by myself on my own, and I had to get shit right. And
Do you have brother and sisters?
no, only child.
Okay, there you go.
Only child. And so, I was in a situation where I had an incredible mother and grandmothers, but they were all going through their own pain, because one had lost a son, another had lost a husband, another had lost her ex-husband, and of course the father of a child. So it was a very, heavy space to be in. And from a very early age, I took on a lot of responsibility, whether I knew it or not, to keep those people happy. But often when we do this, it's at the expense of our own happiness. So I felt this heavy weight of responsibility from an early age, and I was able to get through that and not really able to put my finger on what that was, because of course that's all I knew. I thought that's just how life is. So fast forward to age 21, where I'd gone through various different situations where the depression really kind of reared its head and I wasn't able to hide it anymore. I got to age 21 where I had a good business. I was in, good shape. I did have a girlfriend at the time. I was ticking all the boxes, yet it hadn't gone away. I still felt this deep pain, and I'd not dealt with the death of my father, not dealt with those underlying emotions. And I sat there one day and said, look, if this is what life's about, I'm good. Like, I don't want in. And I was starting to think about ways out. And I think life's very synergistic at times. I had an injury and I had to go to one of the people who worked at my gym to do a sports massage, but who happened to also be a hypnotherapist. And she was also very intuitive, clearly, when I look back on this, because she could sense that something wasn't right beyond just my shoulder. And she recommended me look into a particular topic called neurolinguistic programming. And there happened to be a book in
NLP, right?
NLP, yeah. And there happened to be a book in the staff room of where I was working at the time on NLP. So I was like, I'll take anything at this point in time, because at this moment, if I can't fix this, I'm done. I flicked through the book that was in the staff room at the time, and it said, you are in charge of your mind and therefore your results. Now look, listening to that for some people right now, it might not be that profound. And even when I repeat it, for me, at the stage I'm in right now, it's not that profound. But in that moment, it was the most profound statement I could read, because it helped me realize the victim mindset I'd perpetuated myself and put myself in. And it kind of shone a light on where I needed to take responsibility. So if I didn't like this life that I was in, I could change it, but it had to be on me. And that was the catalyst for me going down what has now been a 15-year journey of self-discovery. One last piece to that puzzle, that little kind of like origin story, I then booked an NLP course. Took all my savings, all my money that I had at that time, and I booked the course, because that was like, for me, I need to save my life.
Yeah, that was life or death. Right?
It was life or death.
Yeah.
So I found the money, I went on this course. It's a 7-day course. Amazing, cool. I was still kidding myself. I was there for my clients. I wanted to learn more about the mind so I could help other people. Day 4 on the course, they do what's called timeline therapy, which is addressing anger, sadness, fear, hurt, and guilt, the core ingredients of trauma. And I'd already started making up excuses to the people who were running the course. Guys, I don't think I'll be able to do that day. I think I've got to work on that day. And they could see through my bullshit, right?
Victim.
Yeah, you could see through it, yeah. All the excuses. And they fortunately managed to convince me to come to the session. And the lead trainer took that session with me. and they did some work on like the unconscious anger and sadness that I was experiencing. And what occurred in that session was nothing short of life-changing and life-saving. It helped me address the first layer of grief and pain that I'd experienced from losing my dad and everything that come subsequently after that. And for the first time in 10 years, I was able to, one, say dad, because if I'd have said dad, I couldn't say dad. I couldn't speak about him. I couldn't look at a photograph. I couldn't access memories because I would either experience deep rage or just overwhelming sadness. And after doing the session for the first time in 10 years, not only was I able to speak about my dad, I was able to like enjoy the memories of him for the first time without feeling the intense sadness or the rage, but actually enjoy it. I immediately called my mum and just said to her, I'd love to see photos and look at photos again. And it completely opened something in me that I'd forgot existed. And it was the start of my self-development journey. And in that moment, I made a deep decision that if this one session can allow me to experience this sense of freedom right now and this sense of being closer to peace right now, I'm going to dedicate the rest of my life to learning as much as I can to be able to share this with as many people as possible in whatever way, shape or form. And that was the core decision I made in that moment.
Can I ask you, what happened during the session?
So timeline therapy, for details, is a dissociative trauma healing technique. So what that means is you are able to view certain memories, which would have been the core memories that were connected to the emotions that you're experiencing, that you're trying to suppress, or that are creating the patterns that aren't serving you in life. And you use the timeline, which is, inside of your unconscious mind, which the practitioner directs you with, to see things from a different angle and to create new meaning, because we hold on to trauma patterns until we can feel safe to let go of them. And in order to feel safe to let go of them, we have to learn from them. Once you can learn from something, you can let go of it. The unconscious mind is very, infinitely intelligent. Everything it's doing is for positive intent, but that doesn't mean it positively serves you in the long run. So once you can see a memory from a new angle and you can take lessons and learnings from it, from the information, the insights, the intelligence and the experience you have now, not when you were a little boy, you're able to look at it in a different way and you're able to let go of the intense anger. And the incredible thing is with that particular model of therapy, for me at least, was that if you imagine a chain of beads, and there's beads all the way along here, and they're all beads, right?
Okay.
And each bead is symbolic of a memory, and each memory has emotion attached to it. What you do in timeline therapy is you ultimately find the original memory, which was the starting origin of that particular emotion, and you go back to that. Right, so you don't actually go back to the traumatic event as such. I'm not going back to thinking about when my dad died. You go way before that. And once you can create new meaning on this, like if I turn those beads this way and I take that bottom bead off, well, what happens? All the others fall off, right? And so in the session, ultimately, you are recalibrating your relationship with anger, with sadness, with fear, hurt, and guilt. And so
at the same time, because you found the root cause, right?
From the root cause. Yeah, it's root cause. And look, it doesn't complete everything. You have to continue the journey, you have to continue the work. But what it did for me, it took away the debilitating attachment to those emotions and memories that were stopping me from being able to feel good in life in general. And so it opened up that book. And like I say, the most important part of that is that it made me realize what we're actually capable of as human beings. And I wanted to dedicate the rest of my life to it. And 15 years later, every day of my life has been about how can I learn more, embody more, practice more, offer more of versions of this healing, therapies, coaching to as many people as possible.
Amazing, man. There's so much I want to talk about with you. But first of all, I'm going to cook something for you.
Sweet.
That's cool.
Sounds good.
There you go, my friend.
Thank you very much.
So I want you to start very light with just a
Wonderful.
beautiful garden salad.
Yep.
I don't know if you've been to Cristofol, the farm in San Carlos.
No.
okay, beautiful farm, and all the veg are coming from there. All the ingredients on this plate is from Ibiza.
Amazing.
So it's like a little Ibiza garden with a soft-boiled egg, sun-dried tomato, some different kind of herbs and flowers, and the vinaigrette is made with pickled chili, honey, olive oil, and citrus.
Wonderful.
Yeah, enjoy.
Incredible.
And some bread, because you haven't had any bread for like 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, out of all of it, I'm like, oh.
That's all you care about. Go for it. It's a very good bread. also.
Amazing, brother. Wonderful. Incredible, dude. That's good, man.
Nice.
Fresh.
You got water? You good? I'm surprised you're not jumping on the bread. That means the salad is good.
It's really good.
If you're going like so deep into the salad, that means it's good.
Yeah, man. You told me to come hungry, so.
Perfect. It's a good bread. It's from
Heaven.
Bibi in Santa Rodis, the bakery.
Oh, Chez Bibi.
Chez Bibi, yeah.
That was ridiculous.
It's good bread, huh? Really good bread.
Very
Yeah, for like bread, for me it's
heaven.
crack, honestly. Like I tried like to substitute, but there's nothing that makes me feel like that.
Bread's amazing.
It's just
I think if you do all the other things right, and good quality bread, it's not the end of the world.
yeah. It's the amount you eat, right? For me it's every day,
Yeah.
you know?
Oh, I could do a loaf a day quite easily. I don't, but I would.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Bread and butter.
No butter though.
I mean butter on top of that. I mean bread, there's nothing better than bread and butter. Honestly.
You're really right.
Bread,
I'm the same with you. I don't care about
good bread, good butter,
Oh
that's
my
it.
God.
It's nothing
Simple.
better than that.
Dough pizza, so it's bread again.
Bit of salt, like rock salt,
Salt.
Maldon salt on top.
Have you got salt?
I do. Here, there we go.
Oh, let's do that.
Do you have butter for him or oil?
Do you want some?
Oh, oil, yeah. What?
I have some good smoked olive oil if you want.
No garlic, no onion?
Smoked olive oil. Yeah.
Sound, yeah. Sign me up. 100%, brother.
It's a really good one actually. So how was this salad?
Amazing. Amazing.
And how was that bread after how many weeks you said?
12 weeks.
12 weeks.
Heaven.
Oh, wow. I don't think I've lasted 12 hours without bread. I don't think I did it. So yeah, to get back to where we left it. So you did this coaching, this NLP thing. And basically like what you told me is that you were in a situation in your life where you felt like you were broken, that you had no way out. That's the way it was. That was your destiny, your life.
Yeah, look, this is the thing. You know, I thought life wasn't fair, and to be fair, I had good evidence to believe that life wasn't fair. However, we have to choose how long we want to use that as a reason to feel like a victim of life. And for me, for that 10 to 11 year period, I felt broken. I felt like, fuck, you know, I'm broke. This is what life's like, and that's where the exhaustion came from at 21. I'm like, fuck, if this is what life's about, I'm done.
Because you have no way out. It's the catch-22, right? There's no way out.
22, yeah, you're overwhelmed with the emotions. You don't know what to do, and you've got no hope. But that series of events gave me hope, and it made me realize, oh, I'm not broken. And that's what the light was switched on behind my eyes. Like, oh, I'm not broken. Fuck. Actually, I can experience life differently, and there's so much more to this. And that's what made me make that core decision. I need to share this with as many people as possible, because there's so many people out there who are existing right now, believing, shit, this is just how life is. I'm broke. This happened to me. I'm broke. This will never change. And that's why they go to the alcohol, the drugs, the self-sabotage, you know, lowering their expectations of life. And that is just self-suffocation that can change.
That's what I've learned also when I've studied also this victim mindset thing. And our mentor at this thing was like, you can put any kind of bullshit excuse in front of you and say like, will I fail instead or succeed despite? You can put the same thing, whatever is your situation. There is always someone out there who's done it in the same situation.
Of course.
Or worse, probably. And I think this is really, inspiring, and that's really something that I wanted to have you today here for that, because I think there's a lot of people who are struggling with that, who believe they can, who believe for whatever reason there is no way out. I have a lot of people around me in my personal life who are there, and I'm trying to talk to about that and try to show them that there is always a way out of wherever you are. It might take a long time.
Sure.
It might be hard, but there is a way out.
Well, it's a commitment. You know, we clean our hands, we shower, we brush our teeth. Cool. That's the physical hygiene. You have to include mental and emotional and spiritual hygiene into your life, but we're not taught that. It's not shared. It's not a common conversation. So that's why most people feel hopeless, because they don't even understand that that's an option.
Do you believe like in the future, like that will? I think in the future, in my opinion, most people that will be like teach at school or something.
It's getting there.
Hopefully, yeah.
It's getting there. It's becoming more popularized. You know, even just being in this space for 15 years now. I was in the health and wellness space, and at that point in time, 15 years ago, the word mindset wasn't even a common word. People didn't know what you meant. It's like, is that another ab machine? You know, that's how, especially in the UK, uncommon it was. Now it's a common conversation. Now people are doing self-development. You know, typically like UK follows America, and it's been popularized in America for a long time. So I can't see a world where it isn't included. Whether they do a good job of it or not, I don't know. But it is becoming more popular, and that's a positive thing.
For sure. The 3 choices in life.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that? Mm-hmm. Resistance, acceptance,
And
and
change.
change.
Yeah.
What was that about?
So much of our pain or our distress or stress that we're experiencing comes from attempting to control things that are outside of our control. And firstly, there's only 3 things we can control, right? Our actions, our focus, our energy. And there's only ever 3 choices in any moment.
Like in any situation.
In any situation, this can be applied. You can resist something. So anytime you feel some form of stress, tension in the body, you are in resistance to something. Now, you have 2 other choices in that moment. You either accept the thing that's challenging you, and then you can change it, or you continue to resist it. For example, if you left home late one day, you're going to an appointment, you get on the road, and there's a car in front of you driving slow, or maybe just driving normally, but you're in a rush.
Always.
And you're behind that car, and you're getting really pissed off. Maybe you're shouting, maybe you're feeling that tension. That's resistance to the situation. So in that moment, you can choose to continue to resist that situation and get pissed off and get really angry. And by the time you get to the appointment late, you're in a rush, and then you mess up the appointment because you're not in control of your state, right? And you have a terrible meeting as a result of it. Or in that situation, you can recognize that, okay, I need to accept that I'm in this situation. And the thing to distinguish here is acceptance isn't settling with it. It's just accepting, okay, this resistance I'm offering to this isn't serving the situation. It's not making it better. It's not making them go faster. It's not getting me there faster. So I need to accept it, because then at least I can control my state. And then you can change your state. Acceptance is the gateway to change. And this crosses over into health and fitness. Many times I've had people, let's say they're doing pull-ups, right? You can either be doing pull-ups or running or whatever you want to insert in the blank here. And you can be saying to yourself, God, this is shit. Oh, this is really hard. Oh, this is terrible. That makes it so much harder. There's the required stress of the situation that's good, that's positive stress that helps you change, or there's the self-perpetuated applied stress that comes from resistance that makes life even harder.
Absolutely.
Your focus. So you have to accept the challenge of the pull-up in that moment, you have to accept the challenge of the run in that moment, and then you can change your state, and you're much more likely to get through that particular situation.
And if I can take the example of the challenge I've done with you, the day I was like, at the beginning I was like, fuck, Monday,
Yep.
100 pull-ups. I'm like, fuck that shit.
Yep.
And every time, the first 2 weeks, I was like, I struggled so much for those pull-ups. And the third week I was like, you know what, let's do it. Let's enjoy that. And I got so much better. I mean, no, I didn't get like twice better, but I could do more.
So?
And 100%, like the way I was feeling about the workout before I started the workout changed completely the actual workout.
Yeah, you've accepted the challenge.
Yeah. And I was better actually. I was my actual performance was better when I was in a positive mood before.
But yeah, because you stopped wasting energy on the resistance.
Yeah.
You know, they often say that the anticipation of an action is far worse
You
than the action
visualize
itself.
already enjoying it instead of visualizing like failing at it.
Well, that visualization is you moving into change. So you started focusing on towards focus, you know, what you actually want. So it makes it easier. Again, it's all about navigating life and enhancing your own capacity for inner leadership is often about accepting the required stress for change, and removing the self-applied stress, which comes from resistance. So it's like, okay, I've got to do this, so I may as well use this and change my perspective of it, rather than just resisting it. It's another slice of the pie of the victim mentality that stops us and causes us to play small, causes us to feel exhausted, and causes us to underperform.
It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah,
You actually make it happen.
of course, yeah.
No matter what it is, if it's up or down, you're always going to make it happen.
Well, the best way to make something happen is to take action, right?
Energy, focus, action.
Three
Energy,
things.
focus,
The only three things you're in control of is your energy, so your state, your frequency. There's many ways we can work with that. You know, it might be a visualization process, it might be some breathing, control your state, regulate your nervous system, it might be going for a walk. All of these things can help you shift and change
Rest,
your energy.
sleep.
Rest,
Sleep, yeah.
sleep, food, movement, connection, relationships, whatever that might be,
It's
whatever
energy,
your tool is, whatever you need, that's going to help you work with your energy. Focus, well, what that means is, you know, what are you choosing to focus on right now? How hard it is, or the reward you'll gain from doing the action. That's an example. So you focus, you're always in control of that. You always have the opportunity to change that. But until you understand that, people don't apply it. And then action. Now, action is two different categories. It's your reactions and your responses. So, of course, responses, I always break down the word responsibility to our ability to respond. And so it's about going, okay, what actions am I taking? Also, how am I building my skill set so I'm more able to respond in those moments so life isn't as stressful? And reactions. Reactions is your habits. You know, what behaviors are you building consistently over time?
Reflexive behaviors.
So become habits, exactly. So then the things that were
Input,
once hard
output.
are easy. You know, think about driving for the first time. Think about all the things you needed to think about when you first learned to drive. Now you just get in the car and next thing you know, you're on the road. That's the same thing with every habit, right? So it's your energy, your focus, and your actions. They're the only three things we can control.
I have a question about focus.
Go.
Focus is what you put your attention to,
Mm-hmm.
right? I think it can be really difficult for some people to know where they should put where and when they should put their attention to at this moment of their life, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do you decide this is the time of my life I need to focus more on that or that or that or that, right?
But it depends on the goal. You know, your desired aim informs what you need to focus on. So, I mean, let's give a bit of framework to that. If they aren't satisfied with their health, their body, then they need to start to focus on what it is they specifically want to change, how they specifically want to look and feel. That's the first point of call, right? That's the
You
first
kind of know, right? You kind of know what is the most important thing you should be working on.
Yeah.
You need to be kind of conscious, right? This is like a work that I think once you start to work on being conscious about what's happening in you and, you know, your thought patterns and all that, I think you kind of know what is the next thing you should focus on, right? For me, it's
Potentially.
kind of clear, you know?
Yeah, potentially.
Yeah.
I don't think that's inevitable. That's why having conversations with other people or being around a different type of conversation, different environment, helps people understand that's a possibility. Some people don't know that that's a possibility, right? It depends where they're at in their particular journey. But yeah, it can be obvious, for sure.
So how do you know if you don't know what to focus on?
Well, you'll know if you don't know because your results will show it, right? You won't be satisfied with whatever it is.
Nature is going to tell you, right?
You won't be happy with what
Reality
you've
is
got.
going to tell you.
Yeah, exactly. It'll just be obvious because you won't have the thing you want or be feeling the thing you want or experiencing the thing you want. That's when you know.
Until you've built enough self-esteem, I think, and if you haven't done like enough work with yourself, I think it's hard to know what you want, right?
Sure, awareness.
So the first thing you need to start with, right, is to
awareness.
Yeah, and
Everything starts with
building
awareness.
trust in yourself, building self-esteem.
Well, yeah, sure, but then that's not the first thing, right? Because in order to be aware of those, in order to know those things are an option, you have to be aware of it. So first things first, it's recognizing and accepting. Okay, I'm not happy with this circumstance.
Acceptance.
Or I want more.
Consciousnness, yeah.
Yeah, that's the first thing. Then comes the next thing. Okay, so cool, self-esteem, self-trust, but then how? How do we do that? Well, some methods for building self-esteem are getting better at saying what you're going to do and do it. Right? I call it the value of your word. Your word is your worth. So, and that has to happen at micro scale. Firstly, where people go wrong often is that they go from this demotivated state to this super motivated state, and they go for this big lofty goal, but then they set the bar so high it's really hard to succeed. You know, and so instead, what I'd ask for most people is, look, start by creating small wins. Like, can you just do 2 minutes of meditation a day? Can you go and do 1,000 steps a day? Can you drink a litre of water a day? Simple things. And we often overlook that. It's not exciting, it's not sexy. But the thing is, it's practical and it can be replicated consistently over time. And each one of those things, the brain isn't biased. If you say you're going to do something small and you do it, it's a win. And each one of those wins compounds and it builds trust. And then the more trust you can build from the little things, the more courage you build to then apply yourself to bigger things. So it's a step-by-step sequence.
I love that. And I love to, we're going to continue this topic about trust, but I need to cook something else for you.
Amazing.
If you still have some space.
Absolutely.
Obviously. Yeah? All right, so.
Wow.
Thank you, my dear.
Incredible.
So you got the Wagyu sirloin. Over there, you got some sweet potato and miso puree.
Incredible.
And that's the potato millefeuille. It's like layered, really thinly sliced potato.
It looks ridiculous.
Baked,
Yeah.
pressed overnight, cut and then fried.
Amazing.
Good, man. Enjoy.
Oh, my days. That looks ridiculous.
Enjoy.
Look at that. Oh. Wow. I hope you guys get to taste some of this. Wow.
Good steak as well.
Very good steak, man. I mean, it's cooked to perfection. The taste is incredible.
Barbecue,
Yeah.
lot of rest. Yeah, beef is easy actually. You just have to respect the rules. Resting is so important when you cook steak. Everything.
How long do you let it rest for?
But it's been here for like an hour.
Wow.
Yeah, at 55. I set my oven at 55 degrees.
To let it rest for an hour.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's the perfect temperature that I want to reach, so it's not gonna overcooked.
Okay.
You can honestly you can leave it. You don't want to leave it too long. I mean, you're not gonna leave it all day, right?
No.
But 55. You know, even if you have like guests coming, whatever, grill all your meat, put everything in your oven at 55. Leave it there. Whenever there's a guest who comes in, you just take one steak, you chop it, serve it, done. It's the best way when you do like a lot of people and instead of
So you did this.
You know when you do those barbecue and you just don't spend any time with anyone because you're on the grill
always
all
cooking.
night. That's it. That's what I do.
Look at that. Wow.
Building trust toward ourselves. That's a big part of what you do with the Wildman challenge. It's about being able to put the guys coming into the challenge to actually do things they thought they couldn't be able, they were not able to in the past, and actually show themselves that they can. So if you tell me more about this trust and this relationship that we build toward ourselves through challenges and.
So my observation and my own also experience is that as a man in particular, when we think about freedom, what we're actually referring to, whether we know it or not, is our capacity to trust ourselves. And trust that if we say we're going to do something, we'll do it. I think it really is such a valuable currency as a man in particular. And so in order to truly feel free and free to go and aspire to the next goal or push ourselves further or ask for more or raise our standards and reach the next level of our potential, then we have to trust ourselves. We have to trust that we can aim for it and show up. Because we're not going to aim for something that we can't trust ourselves to show up for, because we don't want to fail. So we have to reverse engineer it. We have to go, okay, how can we build, or in most cases rebuild, our sense of trust in ourselves, in our word, in our ability to respond, in our ability to show up consistently, even if we don't feel like doing it, is essential for men's mental, emotional well-being.
Because the opposite is building a lot of shame, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, then the shame is a byproduct of how many times have we not showed up? How many times did we let the person down? How many times did we contradict what we said we wanted with our actions? That builds the shame, it builds the guilt, it builds the lack of trust, the lack of self-worth, and then we start to lower our estimations of what we should be allowed to have in our life. And we put up with more shit, and then it's a vicious cycle.
Yeah, it's fascinating. And my experience with the challenge, I have built a lot of trust with myself in the past few weeks, to be honest. Because it's pretty hard. 'Cause to me, it's a lot. It's a lot. Like, just to explain quickly, we do like 6 workouts a week, Monday to Saturday, logically. And you have to drink 3 liters of water, do some meditation, do 10,000 steps a day.
That's it.
And the first week, I'll be honest with you, was really, really painful. Especially because like the way it's built is like Monday is tough. It's so tough. Like the Monday is the hardest day. You do 100 pull-ups, and 150 push-ups. I think 10 times 15, is it? Yeah. So it's pretty intense the Monday. But the good thing about that is that over time, like the weeks get easy, and every week is getting easier and easier, kind of. And I know that I've never done such an intense fitness program ever in my life. And at the end, like the most part of was not that I've done it. It was like the past 3 weeks, I didn't even look at it anymore. I didn't even know like which week it was or when do I finish. I was like, I don't care. I'm just going for it. And this is why I build a lot of trust with myself in this. And yeah, just first of all, thank you for that, because it was really a big challenge for me, and I felt and I feel a lot better now, physical, emotional, and just peace in general and well-being. So yeah, it's actually fascinating that this positive feedback loop that you keep putting yourself on and on and on, and now I just want to build trust on something else and keep feeding that.
Of course,
again and again.
it builds that hunger.
Yeah. It's almost intoxicating and addictive.
Yeah.
This relationship you build yourself, like, fuck yeah, now we can do that. So how about we do that?
Because you're in momentum.
Yeah.
And what you're referring to, just for clarity, is the Fit 10 challenge, which is a facet of the Wildman world. Yeah, it's almost an initiation for the guys, a 10-week challenge that they go through. That's inconvenient, that's uncomfortable.
Very.
That will, on the surface it looks like a fitness program, but it's not. We use the fitness program as a means to show you your blind spots, your habits that aren't serving you, your excuses, the patterns, the ways in life you're limiting yourself. It brings all of that to the surface. And because the body is the most tangible tool to recognize where you're bullshitting yourself, because you feel it. It's really easy to be in a conversation and lie and bullshit and hesitate. But in a workout, something physical, you either can or you can't. You either do or you don't. And so the challenge that you went through, which you did an incredible job of, is reflective of what a lot of the guys experienced in that challenge. The first week is like, wow, how the hell am I going to do this? Good. That's what we want. We want to shock that person to thinking, maybe this is
There's
impossible.
no way I can do it. There's no way I'm going to do 10 weeks of that.
Exactly.
Absolutely impossible.
But then you apply that with the environment, because of course, as you know, you're not alone. You have a whole group of guys around you, which men need more of now. Not to be lone wolves or try and do everything by themselves, but actually recognize that even if you're just in a WhatsApp group, in a space where you can
Absolutely,
see
yeah.
other men in similar situations, similar level of responsibility, showing up regardless of how difficult their routine is, it inspires you, it motivates you, and being in that environment influences how you show up to your own world. Like you said, as a result of overcoming all those moments where it was inconvenient, it was uncomfortable, you built this level of trust, and naturally that momentum builds this idea of, well, what else could I do that you wouldn't have even looked for in the past? Because why would we look for
Absolutely,
something that
yeah.
we wouldn't win at, right? We're not going to aim for something that we can't achieve.
And you discover so much weaknesses also in those times.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, for me, like the food part, I was like, man, I just have no control of that. And like all the workout I've put, I know that is just the next level. But before that, I need to work on the food part.
Well,
But
look,
you discover that like also.
as we were saying earlier, it's awareness. So it brings awareness.
Yeah.
So it's not solving everything, but it brings awareness to everything. So now you've learned through that first 10 weeks, I can do all these things. This has built my confidence, and it's brought my awareness to, this is the determining factor, the nutritional side. Great. So now you've got that confidence and that trust. Now you can feel the ability to go, I'm going to try and face this next challenge. So yeah, it's the awareness, as we were speaking about earlier, that precedes the choice to change.
Absolutely. And also, there's something I've really, really enjoyed at the end is like the last 2 weeks, like at the end of the day, you are like, you're posting at the end of the day, right? But I've done that, tick the boxes.
Yep.
And at first I was like, I'm going to show the guys, I'm going to show Carl that I'm doing the job, right? You start like that. Of
course.
You cannot be like, I want to kind of show off and be like, I'm doing it. And I want you to like, you clap me, guys. But at the end I was like, at the end I was not even, sometimes I forgot to post. To be honest, I was like going to bed and I was like, oh, fuck, I forgot to post that. But I've done the steps, I've done the workout, I drink the water, I've done everything. But I didn't feel this need to be like, see, look at me, guys. I've done
Sure.
it. So at the end, it's like, at first you use that, I think, to push yourself. But at the end, I was like, I don't even need to. I forgot to post whatever. I've done it. Right?
Yeah, it's a takeoff strip. And
Like no one is watching.
Sure.
I'm doing it.
Yeah, and that's what I love about the program in particular is I combine my experience in mindset psychology and behavioral change with health and well-being. And how do we create structures that will keep humans accountable based on the understanding of human psychology? So we'll all show up for others more than we show up for ourselves. So if we put you in an environment where you are all posting into this space about the things you've done, then it inspires you or motivates you to go and do those things because you don't want to be initially the guy who doesn't post the thing. Great, so then it gets the momentum of doing it. Then eventually, like you said, whether you posted or not, you were doing it anyway. But the initial weeks of having that accountability is what changed the game.
Right? The group pushes you, but eventually you have to fly, bro.
Of course.
You have to fly.
Well, you become self-responsible.
Yeah, absolutely. The last thing I want to talk about with you is about what I loved about this, you and what you do with the program and with the boys is that you spend like 1 day per week in nature. Like you go hiking, you go climbing, you go swimming. And I think it's a really important part. I mean, I spend a lot of time in nature. I love to be in nature. I love to swim. I love to climb, to dive. And I think a lot of people spend a lot of time indoor in the gym.
Yep.
Unless you live in a city and you have to. I think people who have access to nature should spend more time in nature. And I would love to tell me a bit more why they should, and and what your experience about being out there compared to being like indoor and in the gym. And
Well, look, we come from it.
Wildman.
We come from that space, and one of the biggest issues that humanity is experiencing right now at a global scale is disconnection in general, not just disconnection from nature, but just disconnection from our core human needs that we all share. So it's not just about nature. Nature is medicinal within itself, but it's also about, you could use the term brotherhood. It's community. It's doing things together. That's also the medicinal aspect. It's also doing something hard. Hiking, we're not just hiking, we're pushing it a little bit, finding discomfort in that space. As you overcome challenge, you release other positive chemicals into the body. So you've got the time in nature, you've got the time with other humans, you've got the overcoming a challenge together, you've got the deeper conversations and the connection that come from that. All of that can occur in that space. So yeah, like you said, if everyone can get into nature, just not maybe as often as others, but it's so important. But not only that, you know, find a community you can do those things with. Fortunately, those things are getting more popular. They're growing. That's part of one of the pieces to the puzzle of the mission for Wildman, which is to build pods of Wildman teams in different areas. We have Bali as well. We're going to be starting in the UK soon as well. Spaces where guys can come and, you know, get out in nature, hike, do fun things. Because the other thing is, as men, and because I can only speak to that, we get a bit older, and typically what happens is we disconnect from the importance of play. We start to take things really, really seriously, and I think there's a stigma around having fun as a man and play, and that being put in a box of someone who's irresponsible and
Stop being a boy. You're a grown man. Right?
yeah, and it's like, sure, in some behaviours in life, yeah, you have to be more mature. So some areas of life you need to be more responsible, but you can't.
Exercising shouldn't be, right? It doesn't have to be.
You can play, but I mean, the point is you can't kill the boy. You just got to nurture him and bring him out at the right time. So play is a super important part of well-being as a human and as men, and so that's also the aspect that can come through in nature.
Yeah.
That we lose.
So important.
Yes.
It's so important. It's like yesterday, I went go-karting with my friend. Best day of my months. It was just so fun. And it's like this, and when you look at a picture of you when you're like 5, you have the same face on this picture that I had on this go-kart yesterday. And it's so important to bring this back. Bring this sense of, of lightness, of joy, of fun. And I think it's, I do miss that a lot when I'm at the gym and I work out on my own. I mean, I do enjoy it, but it's no real fun in it, right? There's no joy. It's
not gamified, right? And you're not sharing it with somebody else.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And
unless I go with a friend,
and when you go
then
with
it gets
friends,
really
different.
fun.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So it's really important. It's incredibly important, and it shouldn't be overlooked that we need that. We can't kill the boy. The boy is within us all. We just have to have a better relationship with him, because the problem is for a lot of men, because they don't have a conscious relationship with the boy, they don't intentionally bring him out at the right times, he will come out in moments where it's not applicable in their relationships, when their relationship with alcohol or drugs or their relationship with money. The boy will come out, but if you want him to come out at the right moments, the moments when it's appropriate. So you have to choose to have a relationship with him, that inner child, that inner boy, let's say. Then it's productive.
I think sometimes the boy in me comes out too much.
Well, it's the part of us, at times where we don't want to do the thing we said we're going to do. We don't show up for our responsibilities. We do overreact. But it's like a child, literally. If you don't give a child attention, it's going to get reactive. It's going to want to get your attention in a way that's probably not convenient. But we all have that facet within us that we need to entertain as well, in order for it to not come out at moments that it's really inconvenient and destructive.
Amazing. Okay. Before we wrap it up, I need to obviously give you dessert, right?
Of course.
So you told me you haven't had dessert also for 12 weeks now? No way. No dessert for 12 weeks?
No dessert.
That's why you're so ripped. Of course. All right, I got something for you.
Thank you, man.
There you go, brother. So, you told me that your 2 favorite desserts are cheesecake
And brownie, yeah.
So I've made both. So the base is a brownie base.
Oh my days.
And there's back cheesecake on top. And that's kumquat, mandarin, and orange marmalade. I like when my guest giggles. That's a good sign. Last week, same. Like I had Richard, he was giggling when he was giggling every time I was eating something. I was like, is it
That
funny?
is ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
I love that.
My days.
That's it. That's the boy. That's what I want. That's what food does also. Bringing back the boy.
It's like a Terry's chocolate orange cheesecake. You had
That's
Terry's
exactly
chocolate
what it
orange
is.
before?
Huh?
You had Terry's chocolate orange.
Oh no, is that? I think I know. It's like those
Yeah.
little biscuits.
It's a chocolate.
chocolate.
It's just orange
And
chocolate.
yeah, I know. Yeah, yeah, we have it in France called.
It's like a
Pim's.
Terry's chocolate orange brownie. Wow.
Is there a message you want to pass before we close?
Yeah, a few things that come to mind. Don't try and do everything by yourself because you simply can't. You know, there's no pride in attempting to solve all of your problems. Ask for help. Choose wisely who you ask for help, but ask for it. Be okay with that, particularly as men. We really fall into this idea of like having to take everything on our shoulders, and at times that is the case, but often a lot of our problems can be solved when we share that with another guy that we trust or a group that we trust. This is why Wildman was born. It's an opportunity for men of all ages to come together, to recognise that their problems aren't exclusive to them, and actually other people have gone through that or going through that, and when you can share that, it's amazing. It's not just about problems either. You know, push yourself, raise your standards. You know, stop underestimating what you're capable of. This is why we use the concept of a challenge. One, because when you have a challenge in the diary, something that scares you, you can use fear as a fuel to motivate you.
Pick your challenges.
Pick your challenges, use them, have a challenge in the diary, right? Have something that you can work towards that means you have to become a new version of you in order to have the best opportunity to achieve it. Because the main benefit of every goal isn't just the outcome of the goal, but in a cheesy way, it's the destination. But what do people mean? They mean who you become along the way, the patterns you create, the habits you utilize, the habits you create, the behaviors you create. That's the main reason we have goals. So find a community, challenge yourself, recognize you're way more capable than you give yourself credit, and keep showing up consistently, because over time you will build your self-worth for every win that you stack every single day. And when you have that self-worth and that trust in your word, you'll have a new sense of freedom and a deeper sense of peace in your life.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much, man.
My pleasure.
Thank you for coming here today. Thank you for sharing your wisdom, your expertise, and everything you've been through with such honesty and authenticity. And thank you for enjoying the food. And I'm going to leave you alone finish your cheesecake now.
Yeah, it won't be long.
Yeah,
brother. Thank you very much, man.
Thank you.
Incredible. Swearing's okay, yeah?
Swearing is better.
Okay, good.
Hey, Kevin. You hear me?
I hear you.
Can you say something, Callum, please?
Say something, Callum, please.
No, can you say something, Callum?
Say something.